So I watched the Nick Fuentes interview with Tucker Carlson, so you don't have to, but we must remember that Tucker Carlson is the same person that prior to his removal from Fox News was being sued by Dominion Voting Systems for defamation for lying about the election fraud. You know, the election fraud? Well, it turns out that when you go to court and you have to provide evidence for your claim, they didn't have any. So Fox News settled that lawsuit to the tune of $750 million. And in that investigation, it was revealed that Tucker Carlson, in his own private text messages, called Donald Trump a demonic force. Just another example of someone saying something privately while publicly still supporting them. We see that all the time with J.D. Vance and all of those closeted Republicans. But anyways, so the interview, Nick Fuentes with Tucker Carlson, I've been watching a lot of Nick's stuff lately because he's been popping up everywhere. He was on Glenn Greenwald, he was on Dave Smith, and now I've watched the Tucker Carlson interview. And there's a lot of stuff in there, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I agree with Nick on a few points here and there. I have mad criticisms about Israel, AIPAC, you know, various things on that topic. There are songs on this wall, because of course this wall is comprised of all political music. Low key, right behind me, has a lot of songs about Israel that Nick would probably like. But still, when you see everything through the lens of the white Christian nationalist that he is, essentially, everything just kind of gets a little distorted. But the thing that really pissed me off was actually at the very end, where prior to the end of the interview, Nick already said, you know, we ought to be, you know, pushing this agenda, but it's not like I'm wishing harm on anyone. It's not like I'm saying we need to hurt people, right? But at the same time, at the end, when Tucker's like, what do you want to see happen? He said, well, you know, Trump and his half-wit measures of, you know, the ICE raids and all that, all he's doing is provoking the left. He's basically essentially saying that Trump needs to go balls deep into this, that he needs to basically remove hope from the equation, is literally what he said, that they need to crush their enemies is what he said, and various other things of that kind of rhetoric. You can't say all that while also denouncing the left when Charlie Kirk, you know, when that incident happened, and it's like he said that 100,000 people, leftists, were cheering for Kirk's demise, but at the same time, he's literally sending that same inflammatory rhetoric out into the world, as he often does he not? Of course they would not talk about this. The text messages that were leaked from the young Republicans, where they were talking about gas chambers and all the other racist comments, it's like that would have been a great point to bring up, but of course Tucker would never bring up something like that, even though people in that group might just listen to Nick.